It's April 18th, 2011, and I'm almost to the top of Heartbreak Hill, the biggest challenge in the Boston Marathon. I'm running with 5 friends, and frankly, we're in trouble. I had run 25 marathons, which I know is a little crazy, but never before with an Achilles track club athlete. Achilles is this amazing organization that makes running accessible to everyone. My friend Julius had lost his eyesight due to a degenerative eye disease, but he was a runner, and he missed it. He missed being out there. He missed race day, and he had desperately wanted to run a marathon. Julius was in okay shape, but like me, not built like a typical marathoner. We were middle of the pack guys who would have to train hard and strategically to accomplish the mission, which was to get over the finish line, no matter what. What Julius was, though, was he was, like me, a bit crazy. Most people with sight are afraid to run a marathon, but Julius was unabashedly unafraid to try. In fact, 1/100th of 1% of all the people in the world will ever run a marathon. So what was his particular brand of bravery, of motivation? Well, most people would say crazy. But first, let's consider the logistics of this endeavor. We carefully recruited 4 volunteers, and we practiced. We ran long runs, we ran hills, and what we figured out was that we were best served by having 2 people in front and 2 people behind. For safety, we had to form a human shield, a human barrier, to ensure he was going to be safe the whole way. I was next to him, tethered to him. I had a cord attached to his arm, Velcroed to his arm, and I had to talk to him the entire way. I was his early warning system. Uphill, Julius, downhill, slope to the left, slope to the right, manhole, slippery manhole cover, fallen runner, anything that would jeopardize our path. Because I knew from all those races, something unexpected always happened on race day. And as it turned out, this day would be no exception. So we're on top of Heartbreak Hill. We're at mile 20, and Julius turns to me, and he goes, "I don't know, man. I don't know." And alarm bells go off. Because the marathon starts at 20. That's when it gets really hard, right? And he's out of gas. He's spent. And we got 6.2 miles left to go. To make it even worse, it's a beautiful April day. The sun's out. People are barbecuing and drinking beer. It's on. It's a party, right? And we're struggling. I was trying to give Julius a pep talk, trying to figure it out. What do I say? I look at the volunteers, and there's concern on their faces also. Because I'd seen Julius's stride had stopped, being strong. His arms weren't moving. His breathing was labored. And I'm trying to figure it out quickly. We're slowing down. And just as we're slowing down, I see up on the right, I see this preppy college kid. He's drinking a beer. He's got loafers on, no socks. He's got khaki shorts on, a button-down shirt, half of it's tucked in, and a pink cardigan tied around his neck. And he's looking at us. He's kind of checking. He's doing all the visual data points. He's doing the calculus, right? He sees we've got blind runner bibs on, bright yellow, and he sees those. And he sees Julius faltering. He sees our concern. And then he puts his beer down, he reaches down, and he starts to push buttons on this old school boombox at his feet. And I'm looking at him, and he picks it up. It's heavy. Puts it on his shoulder, and he slides in with us, and he's still pushing buttons. And I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. I'm like, what is this guy doing? And he hits play, and blaring loud, the theme from Rocky. Like, yeah. And it washes over us. And Julius immediately feels it. His spine stiffens. His arms start moving again. His stride comes back together. And we're looking at each other like, yeah. And we all join him. And this kid is with us. He's running with us in his loafers. Chariots of fire. The Staples singers, I'll take you there. Okay, he's playing bangers, he's playing anthems, and he's with us the whole way. Our stride comes back, we're moving, we're feeling it. We can see it now, right? We can feel it. It's inside of us. And we're at mile 24. We're coasting up these hills, these little hills that roll into Boston. They feel like mountains, but they're small, but they just feel so big as you're getting closer. And we're on mile 24, and Julius turns to me, and in all seriousness, he says to me, "Is this guy on a bike?" Makes me laugh every time I say it. And I say, "Julius, he's not on a bike, but he's with us. He's staying with us. And he's struggling too. He's putting the boombox on his shoulder, on his head, on his arm." It's wild. And we're coming into Boston. We can see the Prudential Tower. We can see the Hancock Tower, the Citgo sign. We're feeling it. And we turn left onto Boylston. 5, 10 people deep on either side, thousands of people. And they're going crazy. They see the blind runner bibs. They see Julius. He's got his name on his shirt. And they're chanting, "Julius, Julius." I have been lucky enough to be on championship teams, to attend the Stanley Cup Finals, the World Cup, the Super Bowl, and I've never in my entire life had a sporting experience like this. In a word, it was glorious. We're all in sync, unison, all moving together, sailing down Boylston Street, and we soar over that finish line. And we devolve into this long, sweaty, tear-filled, we're crying our eyes out, hug. And I look down at the preppy kid's feet, and his loafers are filled with blood. His feet are bleeding. And minutes later, he would disappear in the crowd. We've never, ever seen him again. He'd lost his cardigan along the way. But what he had found was he found some of his own crazy. And he had used it to propel us over that finish line on that day. Now, what happened here? I've reflected on it, and it's become clearer to me over the years. We all use groups of muscles to get through our day. Reaching for the top shelf, sitting, standing, rolling a wheelchair. But this felt different. This was 6 and then 7 people connecting in a way, uniting in a way that just felt rare. Of course, in this instance, it all started with Julius. As a blind person, he was, again, crazy enough to try this, crazy enough to run a marathon. He literally couldn't see what he was running into. And unlike some people might have, our small team did not try to talk him out of it. We said, we're all in. Now, had we been lucky enough to find 6 and then 7 people who were genetically predisposed to accomplish something like this? Or was it learned? I suggest it was neither. It was neither genetic nor was it learned. It was earned. It was earned through intentionality. We had activated what I now refer to as our crazy muscle, an internal function that can make things happen, a possibility pipeline. Think of this muscle group as a subconscious, underutilized, thick imaginary cord that runs from your heart to your brain. This possibility pipeline is a fuse that when lit provides the opportunity to do hard things and to realize the fulfillment that comes from doing hard things. It is an internal machine that forms what I call a risk appetite, where you ask yourself as you look over what I refer to as life's decision ledges. You look down and, oh man, right? Is this a curb or a cliff? Am I gonna be okay? And who's with me? Intentionally using this muscle, regularly exercising this muscle, leads to an unexpected outcome, joy. So what's the good news for you? The good news is that you too can do the seemingly impossible. Because we all have this crazy muscle. And regardless of what condition your crazy muscle is currently in, the ability to access it and to build it is always there. Joy, like the joy that we felt at that finish line, is always within reach. So take time, monthly, weekly, daily, to think hard about what simultaneously gets my heart pumping and kicks my brain into what's possible mode. Whether you're raising money for your church or building the next Microsoft, it doesn't matter. Make it a point to know you're crazy. Great change makers like Teddy Roosevelt, Ida B. Wells, Martin Luther King, Steve Jobs, their crazy muscles were advanced, Herculean, because they stretched, they ceaselessly reached for what seemed impossible. But your crazy muscle can bring you the great joy that doing hard things yields. It can, and I suggest should, be part of your everyday life. So step back, check in with your crazy regularly, and ask yourself, what am I currently all in on? Because it's simple. Without hard work and struggle, there is no joy or fulfillment. So on your journey, start by knowing you're crazy. And like the preppy kid with the old school boombox and the cardigan, jump in. Thank you.